Hi there, it's Mosreo or Mika, as you will know me from Tumblr. This will be a Q&A video while I am bleaching and dyeing my hair because I'm chaotic like that. Um, I have decided not to have a script or anything. I have looked at the questions, but I'll just take it on the top of my head. While I am also dyeing my hair, so you can see how I do that. And I'll start with bleaching it because I have some roots that I think are pretty visible so far. So I'll start by just mixing this really quick while also looking. I have a list here with all the questions. The first question I have decided to answer is from Oblian on Instagram, and it is about my gender. He basically just said he wanted to know more about my gender, so I'll talk about my gender identity while I'm doing this. And yeah, for those of you who don't know, I identify as trans-masculine non-binary, and to me that means that if we have man that is like a blue color, we can use like colors because now you talk about dyeing things. If you have masculine that is a blue color and feminine it's like a pink color, just to be totally traditional in the gender roles. But we also have like every other color available. I see myself as a green, but very, very bluish green, meaning that mostly I am man like the blue, but I have something else that's not close to either masculine or feminine that I see as yellow, as the non-binary part. And when you mix the yellow and the blue enough, you will get a green, but a very bluish green, which is fitting because today I will also dye my hair again a little more bluish green than this. So yeah, that is the short answer to that question, what my gender is. Now I'll just do this because I found out that it's actually very hard to answer questions and do things at the same time, so maybe this was a bad idea. But yeah. Welcome back. I have now mixed this and are ready to actually do something with my hair while replying to the next question. And the next question is from Erika, and her question is, how's life, man? And yeah, now it's turning into a live update. And despite some recent events, things are actually going pretty great. I finally gotten accepted for testosterone. By the way, if you want a longer video where I talk about the whole Danish medical treatment procedure for getting testosterone, feel free to let me know. But yeah, I recently got accepted for that and had a nurse appointment that went surprisingly well, and I honestly didn't expect to be getting any promises when I could get testosterone, but the nurse said it was very likely I would get testosterone. Yeah, I'm very chaotic when I do this, I'm sorry. At my doctor's appointment, which is November 22nd. I also met my new social worker. That was very great, so I'm very thankful for that. To those who don't know, I have been on sick leave basically since graduating from psychology last year. So it's very nice to actually be hopeful for my future in a very work sense. But at the same time, I'm also very happy that I was promised it would first start after October the 25th, because then I can go to the Carrier Europe tour. And I'm really looking forward to watching Carrier in Berlin and in Stockholm this year, so that will actually be my first trip outside of the country alone. So I'm very excited for that. So yeah, I'll say life is going pretty great for now. I'm actually also starting to think about if I should make more transgender related videos instead of just covers and songs, because now I actually have a date to when something will happen with testosterone, and so maybe it would be a good idea to have some videos and things about my journey and my gender and so on, because you don't know that much really. So if you like that, please feel free to let me know, and I'll see what I can do. But yeah, all in all, I'll say things are looking pretty nicely right now. Now we have a longer one, so I will just go down and read. It's from J. Restless Geek, that wants to know a bit about my art and my music. To those who are not very familiar with me, hi, I am both a hobbyist musician and a hobbyist fan art drawer, artist. I have drawn since I was old enough to hold a pencil, but more or less daily since I was 10 years old, because it was the way I could concentrate at school, and because I had gotten a diagnosis for autism at age 11, I was allowed to actually draw in class, despite what some people, especially the teachers, thought if it was a good idea or not. Also for context, I have been singing in a choir since I was like 12 years old, but stopped again quickly afterwards, and then didn't really sing until I was 16, where I at high school joined a band originally to learn how to play guitar, and then after a while also tried to be the lead singer, and it went very well. And so I have been performing at some open mic events since then, and in 2014 I also started to play around with making my own music. So that is the long way to answer your question, Jay, that I have done art longer than I've done music. That was one question. What have I done longer? And what did I do first? That was art. What I enjoy most about art is just getting something to life, getting something from inside this messy head of mine and seeing it come to life on paper. And just also the joy other people get in seeing what I make is something pretty recent, recent as in the last 5 years, I've really come to appreciate. At the same time, it's also a great way to keep myself calm and just have time go faster when I am bored. What I love most about music is the way I can express myself and get some emotions out. Because while drawing is a great way to keep me calm and focus on stuff, music is more of an expressive media, and also, at the same time, it also is a way to get something out there and see it come to life, and it's way more complicated because there are melodies and instruments involved, and I need to sing what I need to do and learn the songs if it's a cover. So yeah, it's a much more complex process, but at the same time it's also very rewarding when you get it right. And then if we talk about music in like playing with others or singing with others, it really gives a lot because you can feel the music just being shared between you in another way that just gives this rush, this joy, euphoria. Where art is you can also have the euphoria and the community feeling with art, but it's much more of a prolonged process, where with music it's way more immediate. You get it right away while you are in this scenery, whether it's singing with others, being at a concert, or performing for people. So yeah, I think that is what I love most about each of these. I'll just end this part of the video so I can set a timer and then come back and do the rest of this art versus music question. Welcome back. We are still with J Restless Geeks questions. I actually think I'll jump to the story question, which is that I also have written longer stories in the past that Jay noticed in one of my blog posts. And because of that, she asked, when did I start writing these stories? And did I start before doing music? And I actually can't remember when I started doing the first stories. I think it's kind of the same as with art. I got a lot of stories in my head that I wanted out. So I actually think that the art and the story started at the same time, but at least in like 2010, 2011, maybe even before that, I started actually sitting down with a computer and a worksheet and writing those stories down. At one point I actually had an ongoing story that was over 100 word pages that started in 2010 and ended in like 2017, 18 with me writing it. But that is the first draft, and I am actually very terrified to read it again, so I have not done that. Yeah, that's that question. The next few questions is not about when I started doing different kinds of art, but more like the creative process. Still, it's J. Redleski. And the first question is if I've ever woken up in the middle of the night, struck with an idea, and oh my lord, so many times. Too many to count, and it's not all the time I actually write them down, which is another of the questions. And yeah, it can also happen just out of nowhere. is often actually happening if I'm just walking outside listening to a song, and then my brain starts to just form an idea or a storyline over the song. I have written a lot of short stories just using that one song on repeat and seeing the same people interacting with each other as I saw when I first heard that song. So yeah, I often get struck by ideas when I just listen to random music or go for a walk or in the middle of the night. So yeah, that's the same with songs. That's actually a lot of times just random in the shower, for instance. And often I'll just repeat the same phrase I think sounds nice. Um, and if I am smart that day, I will write it down in my songbook. I have a songbook I can show you later. Um, or if I'm not smart, I'll try to just remember it. And I had one third option, and that is take my phone and make a memo. So I have a lot of voice memos of myself just singing weird melodies, or having my guitar and play some chords and singing a weird melody over that. So yeah, I think that was that. Yeah, it was remember, or do you write notes? I write notes when I'm smart. And have I ever written any notes that didn't make sense? Oh, so many. Because at the time I was thinking like, well, this is the best idea ever, and it's not. Also, I have been at summer camp, which is a school every summer I go to, where we just work with music. And many of those courses I've taken there are in songwriting, and we make a lot of exercises there. For instance, just let your hand just write whatever non-stop in 10 minutes. And that is some weird things going on there. There you can really see notes that doesn't make sense at all. So yeah, I think I'll stop here and then come back when we start to actually see something. Welcome back to the chaos. I just took out the bleach and blow dried my hair, and if my goal was to get the green out of the hair, I desperately failed, but that is luckily not the goal. As you can see, it's standing a bit funny, but that's okay, because I need to actually do this, because under you can see you're very short now. Under you there was the color. We start with the green. And I'll put the glove on again. And while I am dyeing my hair green, I'll take some more questions. And we take some smaller questions first. Being one from Oak Leon again. About the hat, and if you are curious what hat, it's because on Instagram I submitted the call for questions using a picture of myself with a multicolored hat, this hat, and that is actually a hat I bought in the Danish amusement park of Tivoli some years ago. Well, actually 11 years ago, because I really thought it was neat, and nobody else in my family thought it was neat. So I guess I was showing my very queer tendencies already back then. But yeah, that's all that is about the hat, really. The next question is from Erika again, and it's about favorite bread. What's my favorite bread? I'm actually not sure. I would say that I love rye bread. I love that it's a Danish thing. And my favorite rye bread is probably actually a Swedish one, a poken with cranberries. It tastes very nice. Yeah. That is probably my answer to favorite bread. And yeah, the next few questions are about my mascara beard. So I will just keep those for now, and you can see me doing this disaster of a hair dye. Hello again, it is now washed out and green, pretty. We'll get some blue in it, but I really do not have any questions for this part, so I'll just say thank you for 50 followers on Tumblr. It is very nice knowing somebody is actually interested in my ramblings over there about my experiences as a trans masculine person. And I hope you also will enjoy this very chaotic Q&A. And so we have the green. Not the green, the blue. Again, very chaotic. Ooh, look at this. And then we just try to get it on that table. So yeah, why am I doing this? That is mostly because I love being experimental with my hair. Hair is one of the ways I have always played with my gender expression, and so even when it goes completely wrong, it can become pretty interesting and pretty. Hi again, it's a few days later. Here's how the hair turned out. The last few questions are about the mascara beard for the most part. So I thought I would try to multitask and do a mascara beard while I'm answering. All the questions are from J. Restus Key, and the first one is if I came up with it myself. And I'll start actually with the eyebrows up here. And no, I didn't come up with the mascara beard myself. I actually watched some TikToks, or actually YouTube compilation of TikToks where one was a trans masculine person that had found out that they could make a mascara beard from watching another TikTok, but wasn't sure if it would suit them, and then they just tried and it looked amazing, and then I thought, why not try it myself? And that turns into the next question, which is how did I figure out how to do it? And I really just watched that TikTok and was like, oh, okay, so you just did something, let me just do something as well. And then I spent 45 minutes trying to do something, and yeah, it was very light from what I do today, but it filled me with a lot of euphoria. I thought it was just because I look ridiculous, so I laughed all the time, but it was really just me really liking how it looked in retrospect. So yeah, that was how I came to learn about mascarabeard and how I figured it out. How long did it take for me to be happy with the result? The first time 45 minutes, the next few times a little bit less, and now a few years into the process, I can be more or less happy with the result within a few minutes, maybe 10. So yeah, it really depends on how long I have that day and my patience. but most of the time it doesn't take too long. Maybe put you a bit down so you can, yes, hopefully that's good. What do I generally use and why? I generally use the first mascara I can find, and it's mostly the cheapest. And before I do the next part, I will actually jump down to if I experiment with style, and I have. First time I did it just with the mouth closed and just drew with the line. But I realized when I talk, my jaw was getting a lot bigger, so I figured out if I take my tongue and put it in that side cheek or into the cheek I want to actually paint, my jaw becomes longer, and so it is better to draw the jawline there. And that is actually an experiment I made. I have not experimented with color or anything else, just mostly just little tricks like that. So let's see how it goes. So yeah, now if I even talk with a big mouth, you can see it's still mostly down there. Do it even better like that. I'm not speaking a lot when I do this because my tongue makes it hard, so. But yeah, the next question, have I tested several brands? Yes, but mostly when I cannot find a mascara or if it has dried out, I just buy what is available. And so through that I have tested several brands that way. Have I ever fallen asleep with the mascara on? Actually, I don't think I have. Mostly because when I go to brush my teeth, I will notice the beard and then be like, oh yeah, I need to take it off, sadly. Especially if it's already halfway out anyway, then it's a good idea to just take it all the way out. So yeah, this is by the way not a tutorial. I have filmed this before where I tried to make it a bit more of a tutorial, but it got very long, so now I'm just doing it while I'm answering the questions. Yeah, I have not used anything other than black or brown. This is actually a dark brown. It's one of my favorites because it blends in naturally with my hair color, so it seems a little less bold of a choice. So yeah, I think that was all the mascara beard questions. The last one is not about the beard, but it's about what is the first thing I want to do when getting top surgery, after getting top surgery. And here I feel like being very autistic with my answer. Like if we talk about directly after surgery, it's probably eating something, because you have to fast for at least half a day, if not more. But if we talk about if it's healed and everything, and I'm not directly out of surgery, 2 seconds, I need some paper. You'll probably try out some shirts I really love, but I feel like my boobs make look very bad or give me dysphoria, so just try them out and see how it looks now without the boobs, and hopefully feel a lot of euphoria for that. I would also like to go to the beach since I have not been in swimwear since I was like 15, 16 years old, I think, because it made me too uncomfortable. And I would also like to get a chest tattoo. Not to cover up the scars, but more like to show that I am proud of who I am now that I look how I want to look. I was actually thinking about having a carrier coat, so that would be exciting. But yeah, that was it. Thank you for watching this very chaotic video, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if there's anything you would like me to do more of trans related stuff, feel free to comment either in the comment below or on Instagram or on Tumblr where you see this. Stay creative, my fellow foxes, and have a nice day.